Riverside County Supervisor Jeff Hewitt is a successful pool construction entrepreneur turned politician, one of 4 elected officials governing an area of California with a population of 2.4 million, and the most powerful public official in America, affiliated with the Libertarian Party.
I always think about, is it hurting somebody? Is there something I can do to lessen the inquisition of the government and have it instead defend our rights like it's supposed to?
At a recent meeting of the Board of Supervisors, when a bill to regulate the sales of home-baked goods came up for discussion, Hewitt dissented.
I remember back in the 50s and early 60s, my mother would make apple pies for Law's Coffee Shop up in Oak Glen. So back then it wasn't a problem. I think most of the people around Oak Glen made them for the restaurants. And I don't think anybody ever died from that.
My background comes from starting my own business when I was 19. Just digging swimming pools. Eventually I got to building pools, but the things I learned about that were to get through the tough times, bring in my budget, and in those really great times, still put some stuff away so I could survive to see the next day.
Before he was elected to his county seat in November 2018, Hewitt was mayor of the town of Calimesa, where he cut ties with the state fire agency because it was charging too much.
It's common knowledge around electeds, nobody goes against fire because that's political suicide. So I basically was able to convince my colleagues over there that don't worry about getting reelected, let's do the right thing.
In 2018, Hewitt, whose largest donor was Libertarian tomato magnate Chris Rufer, spent less than half the money campaigning than did his union-backed establishment Republican opponent, and won anyway. He says that the Riverside County Libertarian Party has seen a 42% spike in registration since his victory.
The nice thing about being a libertarian is we could reach out to the Democrats on a lot of things, especially the social issues that we agreed on, and we could also reach out to the Republicans on a lot of the fiscal and regulatory issues. So it put us in a really good place, and this is what I think a lot of libertarians don't understand. We are the great consensus builders and peacemakers, and we need to go ahead and market that.
Hewitt's district is historically Republican, but has skewed Democrat in recent years, something he says he was able to capitalize on to best his opponent.
One of the biggest mistakes that libertarians make is to think that Democrats are harder to persuade than the Republicans are. Now on social issues, criminal justice reform, we're right there with them. We've already made a connection there. A little bit tougher is to say, look, you want to go ahead and make people's lives better economically. Let me show you how free market systems have worked for me. Don't even need to use the word capitalism. But that sell is a little bit easier, believe it or not, than people think. On our board, we have 2 Democrats and 2 Republicans. I'm a libertarian. It allows me to not only build a consensus, but when there's very contentious issues, I can be that swing vote too. So being a libertarian is the most important thing to me, and it's who I am.
And to aspiring Libertarian Party politicians, Hewitt's advice is to pick winnable races and focus more attention on the basics, like public speaking and social skills.
Take Toastmasters and get to know how to speak in public and also make friends. Like me, get appointed to a planning commission. You make friends there, relationships, you start building trust in the community. And now people don't care if you're a libertarian or whatever you are, you're going to be someone that they're going to have an easier time voting for.
But despite his electoral success, Hewitt still faces considerable opposition from his fellow board members on several core issues. He dissented from an agreement the board reached with the Service Employees Union that he believed would ultimately bankrupt the county. Others on the board, including conservative Republicans, voted for the agreement.
I sincerely respect the issues being raised by my colleague, Supervisor Hewitt. He's right on the money. We have to start somewhere, and I just don't think that it starts with our going after our employees. I think it starts up here at the dais, going after the bigger picture issues that we face today.
But Hewitt believes that if he sticks with his principles, he'll inspire other libertarians to join him in the fight.
Pick a race that you can win. A lot of these local races, they're actually still very powerful, but they don't cost a lot of money. In 2 to 4 years, maybe 10 years, all of a sudden you're in a very, very impactful position. You can really make a lot of big changes. Then it won't be so lonely for me.